Good morning, everybody. Looks like the market's getting a nice little pop here, eh? So, for those that are unaware of the pop that's happening here within the market, like I mentioned on Monday, we had the bigger part of the data coming out Wednesday and Thursday pre-market. So today pre-market we had a PPI. So tomorrow we have CPI. So just quickly going to go over the data that came out for this so far positive reaction here that we're seeing on the S&P. So U.S. PPI month over month actual minus 0.1, forecast was 0.3. The core PPI year over year actual was 2.8. The forecast was 3.5. Previous was 3.7. That is the bigger part of it. Also, a few other things. Nothing crazy. U.S. producer prices rise 2.6%. Estimated was 3.3%. Other than that, not really seeing anything else other than the PPI being the most significant. And then reminder, Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern will be the CPI data. So nice little positive reaction so far here on SPY. Let me pull up. I know you guys see my chart. I don't even see my chart yet. There we go. Let me put this tab up here. That way it's easier to watch. Alright. And let's get TradingView back up over here. Alright. So, SPY, opened up above previous week high right before the data came out, and then big reaction off of that. Looks like the high of that candle so far is just underneath 655, 654.8. So far looking, so far looking pretty good here on SPY. Pre-market, even from yesterday, this nice move down here from previous day low. That was absolutely beautiful. I would absolutely hit this trend line here on SPY for these higher lows that you have here on the chart. Oh, someone said the volume is really low. Let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. All right, how's that? How's that, DSTO? They're in the Discord right now. They're letting me know. Volume is better now? Nice. Fantastic. He said, up, baby, up. I don't want to go too loud because then you're going to hear all the freaking craziness going on behind me. I got a mini golden doodle and a cockapoo on the other side of those doors. And then the kids over there eating breakfast still. Had a little bit of a late start this morning. So, SPY right here just holding these holding these higher lows right here. So this will be the kind of overall trend that I'll be looking at for it to hold intraday. So big support down here as it gets down closer to the 653, 652 area in this trend line. And then, just pushing up to new highs. After that, nothing. Chill, DST. Oh my God. So that'll be the main thing here on SPY. Just make sure you have this trend line right here for these higher lows. QQQ. Positive reaction as well. Obviously, you can probably hit this low down here and hit this bad boy right there. So mark 582.6. on QQQ, mark this area right there. You'll see the zone that I had on QQQ previously right up here whenever we covered it on Monday. Beautiful upper wicks right up here, and it had a small little head and shoulders on the smaller time frame, rejected up in that zone perfectly. You carry that zone over into today. Now we are above it. This is what I look for to take trades. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the move up above the zone, comes back down. You see buyer step back in, right? And then you want to see the break above it. That is going to be your SR flip, right? So you have this resistance right here on QQQ around 581, give or take a few cents right there, right? Break and base above it. Is it a coincidence that that is where you have a lot of confluence for areas of support right here, right? You have the equilibrium zone right here. Obviously, you have the Monday high that's being right there, your previous week high, which is right up here, which is going to be your Friday, just right above it, right? So you got that Friday high, you got the Monday high, you got the equilibrium. So a lot of support that's going to be down here near QQQ on 581. So would like to see QQQ still hold above this trend line right here and around this 582.6 area, and then continue to hold that trend and go higher. If it ends up breaking that spot right there on QQQ at some point in time, I would absolutely expect this move to come down right here, and I would absolutely expect there to be some kind of positive reaction off of that for a little bit of a pop. So just make sure you have this trend line right here for the higher lows on QQQ. Mark that level right there at 582.6, and then also make sure you're marking around that 580.80. I mean, around the 581 to 580.75, that little 25 cent area right there. Going to be a nice little zone for a back test for a potential long spot if you see buyer step in right there. MU, absolutely amazing. This is gorgeous. Drew the rocket ship on here, end up getting, 135s in the money, and then way above that, and now I did not roll MU calls for the third time, and it was going to be the 140s. And it looks like they almost got to 140 on MU, 139.80. I still have MU 135 call runners. So I'll be looking to potentially exit that here at the market open here. I was going to plan on rolling them into the 140s, but I decided to just leave the 135s for the runners, and instead I actually swung AMD calls for a new position. If you look at MU kind of already did majority of the move. So I charted this last week right there for this break, hit the 21 back up here, and then retest right there. This is where I took the entry on this back test right here. It was going to be forming into a Morningstar reversal here off of the weekly 21. Drop it down to a daily, and then you're going to see both of these bottom wicks right here, area holding the zone, green hammer candle, big pop right here over 123 over this volume shell, very, very strong. This is the time when I was in the calls for the 130 the first time, and then got a nice pop up here. They went in the money, took some profits, rolled them into 135s, boom, rip above 135 in the money, and then obviously now going up to 140. All right, so that's already played out. So instead, yesterday, I sent out a chart before market close here on AMD. So AMD, you have this little gap to fill down here if it loses this little zone, right? So one thing is, I'll change this one to yellow right there. All right, so you see over here, hit this area of support, boom, hit this area of support. When it hit this area of support and then it got this big green candle right here, combine those three candles together, that is something called a Morningstar reversal. That's what you want to see at the bottom of a downtrend for a good risk reward entry for the calls. So you get into the calls, pushing back up here, and then looking for a break over top of this little zone, which takes it up to about 158. And then you have the 160 psych level, and then full target for this trade being the volume shelf that's right here. I go ahead and mark that to the penny right there. Right, now let's go look at AMD pre-market. Look where we're at. Look at that yellow line. Look where it's at. Look where the arrow is right down here. Look at the other yellow line, right? From one to the other, right? Just like that. So absolutely beautiful. Love to see it hold right here. And then I entered into the calls yesterday and then got a nice little push into the close, and obviously nice after hours pop right here, consolidation right around again that 158 area. Look where that red level is from that larger time frame. Look at that. That couldn't have been, that's from a daily and weekly chart, and look, absolutely gorgeous. Hit that, and then where to go after doing the break and base over top of that. Again, like I said, 9 out of 10 times all of my trades are nothing more than taking areas at key spots of support and resistance and SR flips. Absolutely beautiful. And then it held that and then got the push back up here, and now we're hitting that full target upside. So I swung the 162.5s for 919 expiration. They are obviously in the money right here. So I've got about 29 minutes until market open. Looking for it to hold up as much as possible would be fantastic. If I could sell 80% of my entire position right now, I absolutely would. So hopefully, it lets me get out for some good profit. At the open, it is hitting a big spot of resistance, so I do expect a pullback, which sucks to say because I can't exit, my long position right now. Look, I'm saying that and it's getting this little red candle right here. So you're getting a little bit of a pullback right now, it looks like, on QQQ as well. And then SPY just back testing some of those intraday EMAs here on the 5-minute after that overextension from the data. But I mean, absolutely beautiful chart. This is just another, it's been a wild September. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had this many trades go in the money and plus 100% in a very, very short amount of time. Let me see. Someone just sent me a message about Discord. I'll check that in just a second. Let me check the chat up here. Oh, what's up? Oh. Call swings to make our week. I know that's right. Grant, go over Microsoft. Can you say please? Crack Attack? Can you say go over Microsoft, please? I'm just kidding. Oh, looks like that was for the audio earlier. What does the equilibrium zone mean? So the equilibrium zone is going to be the 50% retracement of the range. So also I need to look at IWM as well, right? So go over to Qs right here, right? You have that equilibrium zone. See where that yellow line is right across the middle of the chart and that little gray shaded equilibrium zone? If you were to take a fib, run it from this low up to this high, boom. You see how the yellow level right here, 50% right there, says 580.94, hence why I said around 581 down to 580.75. My level's at 580.86, give or take a few cents off, right? That is what the equilibrium zone is going to be based off of, is 50% of this range that's right here on the chart. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. Q's getting a little bigger red candle than SPY. AMD, just chill. Stop. Stay up there so I can freaking sell them for amazing gains and then just leave for the day. I mean, that's the best thing you can ever do, right? IWM, you have a little bit different story. So obviously SPY and Q is making, new highs. IWM had relative weakness yesterday near the open. And it's looking like it's kind of just back underneath or right at the opening price. 930 opening price yesterday was 237.90. It's right below it. So IWM is back to where it was yesterday. I mean, one thing I'll just note on IWM is just mark, these areas of resistances up here. You have another one here. Look, that's exactly where that data ended up going up to, right there. Have little SR flip zone here. Absolutely beautiful. Have another support zone here. And then previous lows down here. So those are kind of the zones right here on IWM that it's going to be battling with. There you go. And this is from 235 to about 240 psych level is up there. I would mark around here 237 and then mark 235 right there. So that is kind of the overall chart that I'd be watching here on IWM. So 235, 237, 240 with these little zones right here between them all. Oh yeah, NVIDIA. So Bishop swung NVIDIA calls while I swung the AMD. What calls did Bishop swing in the Discord? You guys are talking about over there in the thing. Let me see if I can pull it up as well. Oh, he bought some with time. He did October 17th. Beautiful. He did 190s for 1017. So absolutely gorgeous. And a nice move up on the video here at 176. So looking fantastic. Thank you. And then my coffee from my lovely lady over there using my dad mug. Says, I'm a dad, what's your superpower? Hot. All right. Someone said Microsoft. Wait, hold on. Did you say please, though? That's the thing. Please, I'm pissed at Microsoft. Forgive me. The volume is ass. Never mind, my volume was ass. I was going to say, I turned mine up. All right. Yeah, we'll look at Microsoft. Who was it? What are you in on Microsoft? Who was it? Crack Attack. What are you in on Microsoft, Crack Attack? I hope it's calls. I hope it's calls. Because if it's puts, depending on, how much time you have. You got some resistance up here. You got some big reactions that kind of happen along this area right here on Microsoft. It seems. Drag that over. SR flip spot right here. I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing you can ever do, right? So resistance right here. Hits it again, comes back down, hits it again, comes back down. It finally gets above it, comes back down right there and holds it. What does it do? It goes up to the next one, right? Then they knife it straight back down. And what did it do today? Do nothing more than just a back test of that zone. So that zone's at 507 to about 508. You have another spot here at 504.14. And then you're going to have this little spot right here on Microsoft as well, which is going to put it around 502. And then another level down here near the 500 psych level. And then yesterday had really good support at 498. So you have 498, 500, 502, 504.15, resistance zone again 507 to 508, and then 510 psych level above that. It's kind of the main thing that I'm seeing there on the Microsoft. Oh, look at that. Look, put entry. Right up there, look at that. Nice upper wicks. Look, it's still on my chart. Absolutely beautiful. So it knifed down, hit from what, 517 down to 492, not a bad drop. Back testing right now, just above the daily 9 and sitting above it right now. Would love to see, looks like a little bit more downside on Microsoft potentially. Go to the daily. Yeah, so yesterday it closed right underneath the daily 9, and it looks like it is rejecting the daily 21, which as of right now seems to be the trend for it holding to the downside right here. It's still underneath the daily 21. You can see that little, says pre-market right there, that little squiggly line. That's where it's at right now. So it got a nice bounce from here up to here, rejecting up in this zone so far on Microsoft. So that is the main thing right here on Microsoft that I would watch. Obviously, you'll see that big support that's right here as well. So those are the spots that I'd be watching on Microsoft going into today. This big zone that's right above again, 507, 508, 505, 504, and then this area 502.50 down to 501.60. So that's all that I see on there. Nothing too crazy. Oh, you're in calls. Fantastic. Yes, it is hitting a big area of resistance above currently right now. So it's back testing this volume putting control here on the hourly at 505, honestly. If you're in the calls and you kind of want this thing to hold up, I'm not sure when you entered into it. I mean, if you entered into these calls since, Friday, Monday, or yesterday, your position would be green, obviously, being up here with this pre-market move up here. So hopefully it can hold up here near that 505 for you. Bow, bow. Hims, Hood, Tesla, Sound. I'll do Sound real quick, only because I'm still in Sound. All right, so I'm in the Sound $15 calls that went into the money, and I'm still in a few runners there. Absolutely gorgeous. So here, I said it's either going to go back up and hit this zone, or it's going to come back down and hit this trend line. Lo and behold, what it do? It came down here, hit the trend line, ripped all the way back up here. Came back down to my little yellow SR flip area, bouncing back up here beautifully. Getting the nice move on the weekly back above $15. So I would love to see Sound go to 17. I have not rolled those positions of those runners with the $15 calls just yet. Honestly, I'd probably like to get a little bit of a better entry, but on a little bit of a pullback. But I do like SoundHound to continue to hold above 15 and reclaim, or not reclaim, to still hold above 14 on a pullback, and then go back up and reclaim 15 and then get the move to 17. Someone said Tesla. Tesla, I'm telling you, just don't worry about Tesla right now. For me, I think you can make money both ways on Tesla every other day. I think you can make money on calls one day and puts on the next day. Tesla is in a squeeze right now for week 3. That's what this little indicator here at the bottom of the chart, those little red dots right there. It's in a squeeze right now, and that's because it is just consolidating right here in this little tight range. So consolidation leads to expansion. The question is, which ways, expansion going to end up moving? We would like to see, I would like to see expansion to the upside. So the one thing is, Everly's pissed, is this zone right here on Tesla. Go over here and then kind of just watch this right here. At some point in time, while Tesla's consolidating in this area, and this squeeze continues to build in high compression, it's going to run out of space. fighting this support and then fighting this resistance. Somebody's going to win, the Bulls or the Bears. Personally, I would like the Bulls to win this fight. I would like to see them move over 370 and eventually get that move back up to that 400 area. So would love to see it continue to hold here and then get the break above this area and then go up here. But Tesla is in a weekly squeeze. It is absolutely just freaking coiled here. So if Tesla does pull back down to this trend line, right where this volume shelf is, near that 320 area, see buyers step back in, reclaim. I think that can be a great spot, risk reward entry to get some calls and then take it back up here. So that is the main thing right here that I'm kind of watching on Tesla. It's in another little daily squeeze right now, but the main thing is the weekly chart. You're gonna sell AMD ASAP, 100% ASAP, no Rocky. I'm selling 80% of my calls, the 162.5s for 9/19 expiration right at market open. Market opens up in 14 minutes exactly. Yes, I'm selling 80% of my calls. So if I have 10, wink wink, of these AMD 162.5s, I'm selling 8 of them and locking in majority of those gains. And AMD is back to 163 as of right now, so it's looking good. I think there was one other one. Oh, what's up, Liv? Liv, Hims. Hims had a nice double bottom. I know, just don't look at my charts on how crazy they are right now. But Hims had a nice double bottom down here, and then I alerted the calls. So right here, see that big reaction of the support? Right there, big reaction of the support. Came back down, hit that same support again. So what do you think Casey Trades did on Hims last week? Right down here. I ended up taking calls twice. And wanted to see a full move. 46 first, get 45s in the money. And then after that, go above 50. Right up here, volume point of control. You can obviously see, nice upper wick, hit full target. What happened? Seller stepped in. What happened? Red candle. And now it says pre-market that it is back to about 50 bucks right now. So after, there it is. So after that rejection, the double top here, and then sell off a little yesterday, it is back up right now, right at this this volume area, just underneath 50. So we'll see what happens with Hims right here, but let me get my AMD chart up because that's going to be the most important thing for me going into today. Hey, looking good, looking good. So, all right, market open in about 12 minutes now. Those are the levels on SPY, QQQ, and then again, actually I think it's this chart. Oh no, where'd it go? There we go. And then IWM. It's always the same three that I'm mainly watching throughout the day. SPY, Qs, IWM. Look at IWM, right? Look at SPY and Qs getting that bounce off that retest right there on both. Right here, SPY, very nice, right off of VWAP. But look at IWM. A completely different story, right? It's the reason why I like IWM sometimes, because it just individually just acts on its own. Like I said, there's days where SPY and Qs, the price action isn't really the best, and IWM is giving a really nice move in a specific direction. It's either have relative strength, relative weakness, whatever it is. So don't sleep on IWM if you're a newer trader or a smaller account trader. IWM options, they are cheaper than SPY and QQQ, so they're a little bit smaller account friendly. So instead of like SPY options being, you know, 200 bucks per contract, and you say you can only buy 3 or 4, IWM's maybe like 80, 90 bucks. So they're about half the price. So you can buy like 7 or 8, which gives you the ability to hold on to it longer and then, you know, trim out and have those contracts to keep on trimming as it moves in your favor, instead of only having, you know, 3 or 4 contracts on SPY. You sell 2 of them, right? You already sold half your position and only have 2 left. But for IWM, on those trend days when IWM is just ripping or is completely falling, whatever it is, you capture that large intraday move on IWM, and then especially when you have those contracts and they go in the money, and then, you know, obviously when they start going in the money, delta increases, the premiums start to really go, and that's when your runners can almost pay you majority of all the entire gains. When you start taking your props maybe at plus 30%, right? But then your runner that you have at plus 100%, when it happens, it goes into money. That one contract, right? The value of that is very similar to 3 other ones that you trimmed prior at 30%. And that one runner is matching those gains and doubling it. That's the fun thing about it. So, but all right, closing down the stream here. Appreciate everyone tuning into before the bell. Again, just PPI data this morning. I mean, big ripper and reaction on SPY. Very positive, obviously. I'm in call swing, so absolutely love the market continue to rip higher here. And again, we have CPI data tomorrow. I will not be live for that, but I will be live Friday with the WolfX trading team. I believe on YouTube and X, not just normal spaces. We're going to be doing like a live stream like this, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you tune into that. I'll send out that link sometime tomorrow or Friday morning right before that starts. So premium Discord team, I will see you guys here in about 1 minute. I'm going to shut down the stream over here and go jump over there for the live trading for the day, managing those call swings and then seeing what else sets up for the day. Looks like it's going to be good. We're going to lock in some nice gains on AMD. We'll love to start the day up about $1,000 on the day. That's always fun. So, all right, guys. Everyone else, have